Illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns under a star-studded desert sky, Shy Guy Bazaar is a bustling Arabian marketplace managed by the Shy Guys themselves. Debuting in Mario Kart 7, this course takes races along sand-covered roads and through a vibrant bazaar, just weaving through narrow alleys and atop lively market stalls. Along the way, they must dodge carpet-riding Shy Guys and skillfully navigate around snake jars just blocking their paths, along with so much more. After its return in Mario Kart Tour, this exciting course is now making its way back to Mario Kart World on the Nintendo Switch 2. Hey everyone, I'm Swiftjar, and welcome back to my favorite series on this channel, of course being the Changes and Analysis series, where we dive deep into a Mario Kart track and, to be completely honest, totally overanalyze it and just seeing how it's evolved over the years. Today, of course, we're looking at Shy Guy Bazaar. And I've got a very special guest joining me for this one, just being Andre from GameXplain, my guy. The setup's pretty simple. We're diving into what made this track stand out from the very start, checking out all the changes it's seen on its way with every return before Mario Kart World, hearing why Andre's hyped for its comeback, and then breaking down all the updates it's going to be getting in Mario Kart World. And trust me, you want to see this one. If there's a specific section that really grabs your attention and you don't want to stick around for the entire video, you can just use the timestamps down below to jump straight to the part you want to see. I'm not going to be offended. And before we do get started, just be aware that I am giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 on this channel and a copy of Mario Kart World, and the only thing that you have to do to be part of this giveaway is just be subscribed. If you're in the Swift Cafe Discord and follow me on Twitter as well, you'll also get an extra entry too. But that's enough yapping, let's get into this one. Rightio. Shy Guy Bazaar is the second course of the Flower Cup in Mario Kart 7. Set at night in a lively desert town, this entire track is run by Shy Guys, just with their marketplace illuminated by lanterns and their signature masks just peeking out from every single corner. The bazaar theme kinda gives it a mysterious vibe, and I love just seeing all the carpets, jars, and just the sand-covered roads that are twisting through the heart of the city. The race begins on a sandy street just outside the bazaar, marked by the Mario Kart starting line banner that's just being held up by two desert pillars. Racers are immediately greeted with a picturesque view of the bazaar entrance, featuring a mushroom-shaped product in the center of it. In the background, the beautiful starry desert night sky, market stalls, and desert hills just really create a nice stunning backdrop. After the starting line, racers take a slight right onto a wooden bridge that just spans a deep ravine, where the first set of item boxes are located. Entering the bazaar properly, the road then opens up with market stalls just scattered all around it, just forcing drivers to weave through the narrow spaces. On the far right hand side here, there's actually a boost ramp that launches racers onto a raised wooden path. Up there, you'll find some jumping ramps and some dash panels just before the path curves back down towards the main road. Underneath the ramp itself, there's a bunch of Toads and Shy Guy spectators seeming to peek out of a room that just looks really dark. It's kind of unusual, but it's also kind of cool and matches the vibe here, I guess. At the end of the bazaar, the track then splits a little bit. The right side offers more coins and a dash panel, while the left side is filled with jars and sand. From this point, the road actually turns left, then quickly right, into a real tight alley where more jars just block the way. After another right turn, racers hit a short straight with some more coins, followed by a boost ramp that launches them onto the rooftop. The rooftop section is one of the highlights of this course. You just start hopping between buildings using dash panels and jumps, just before going through the gliding section, where of course you get to see all the bazaar and the night sky just looking so beautiful. The only obstacle up here is just trying to watch out for those flying Shy Guys. You don't want to bump into them or else you're gonna fall. Once you finally land, there's a wide slope path towards the finish line with just a few steps on the sides that allow you to trick. Then, you go back to the starting line to do it all again. To be completely honest, I just love all the branching paths in this track to begin with, and especially those rooftop jumps as well. And the good part is, in Mario Kart World, this just gets taken to a whole new level, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, as I said, Shy Guy Bazaar then makes its return in Mario Kart Tour, and it retains the rich, atmospheric charm from Mario Kart 7, but of course, it comes with a few tweaks to just better suit the mobile play. It of course brings back the nighttime marketplace, the glowing lanterns, and of course all those sand-covered roads just winding through the Shy Guy run town. And this debuted in the New York tour all the way back when the game pretty much came out. Visually, it's almost identical to the 3DS version, but Let's go ahead and start with the starting line. The old fabric starting banner has now been swapped out for a sturdier looking stone one, and the starting pillars now even have little lanterns just hanging from them. It is a small detail, but it just adds to the warm desert night vibe that this course really gives off, and the Mario Kart sign now is gold and lit up. If you look a little bit more into the distance, the Castle Bazaar entrance now has turret towers at the very top, and this whole entire area has just been given a lot more detail, especially with all the windows glowing in the background. And this applies to the entire course as well. The section on the right now even has some elevated, sturdier buildings in the background instead of kind of flimsy ones that look like paper. This looks a lot better in my opinion. The rounded lanterns around the course now as well have just been replaced by these kind of modern streetlights-ish. I don't know if they're modern, but they're different. And the desert hills in the background look a lot more larger. Inside the bazaar itself, all the buildings in the background here have now been replaced with much more realistic ones, and they're kind of more square-shaped structures, just moving away from those mushroom-tip buildings. Another change that I did notice is just the bunker section when going right. This is now a lot less dark and creepy. It's almost like a little hut where racers can just sit to chillax a little bit. Just before the gliding section now as well, the old mushroom tops have now been replaced with turret towers, and the moon is now on full display during this section. That's kind of it though. This track is pretty much identical to the original, just looking a whole lot different on the mobile version. And in Mario Kart Tour as well, this also came with a reverse variant, a trick variant with ramps, and a reverse trick variant as well, just allowing you to experience this in a whole few different ways. Now, to quote Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith, this is where the fun begins, and trust me, it really does. Shy Guy Bazaar finally makes his appearance on a home console for the very first time in Mario Kart World on the Switch 2, and it'll be appearing as the second course of the Flower Cup. This isn't just a very simple port either. The track has been completely reimagined with both daytime and nighttime variants, along with weather conditions too, plus a whole lot of other changes that we'll dive into. The daytime version of this track really captures the original's vision of Mario Kart 7, just giving us a sunlit, lively market that's just full of charm, and of course a lot more color now, while the nighttime variant still retains its very familiar warm lantern-lit ambience. Before I do dive into all the changes, let me pass you on to a good pal of mine just being Andre from GameXplain, just to tell you why he's excited for this course making a comeback.
Thanks, Swiftjar, for the opportunity to share with everyone why I'm excited for the return of Shy Guy Bazaar, with the reason number one being, it's freaking Shy Guy Bazaar! It was already one of the best racetracks in Mario Kart 7, and it looks even better now in Mario Kart World. Of course, the moving jars are back, or should I say, the swift moving jars, see what I did there? But then of course we have the adorable flying Shy Guys with their cute little magic carpets, which I just can't get enough of. Then you have new details and facets that are added in World as well now, like multiple new pathways I can't wait to check out. But then you have the fact that you can now race on this racetrack at different times of day beyond just the night setting of the original game, which makes me excited to see it in all kinds of light. But then on top of it all are some possible lore connections with the fact that they added a palace to the background, but not just any palace, but one that has the emblem of Daisy on it, the flower emblem, which really makes me excited for the future of Daisy and her connections to, of course, Sarasa Land, which is famously, or at least is well known for, being set in a desert region. In any case, I can't wait to go on this track in Mario Kart World, as it looks like a lot of fun, and I just can't wait in general. Once again, I can't keep saying that enough. I can't wait.
Thanks, Andre. It's always an absolute pleasure to have you on this channel. Rightio. From the very start, there are some massive noticeable upgrades even if you don't look at this track in like real small details. Let's look at the starting line banner to begin with and just the atmosphere around it. This banner has been completely redesigned now, and it's just oozing desert vibes with two large elephants on either side who are both carrying a Shy Guy in a carriage, and they're topped with purple flags. The banner itself is now a bold purple with a golden Mario Kart logo. It just oozes royalty here. Just before reaching the starting line banner as well, you'll see a few flame-lit torches just lining the path, and the once empty sidelines here now actually feature a pretty full crowd. And they're complete with camels, who just sit nice and casually behind those advertising signs on either side. The track's surface as well has also received a makeover. Instead of the plain sand from the original, racers now drive on a detailed tiled path that actually goes along pretty much the entire course. And of course there's just sand flanking both sides as well like normal, and you can just cut through this with a mushroom if you want to. The lamps dotting the course now also resemble actual streetlights, and if we actually look at the entrance to the bazaar now, this has had a massive glow up. It now resembles a full castle-like structure that actually wraps around the entire course, instead of just being flanked by buildings on the right hand side. Palm trees and extra buildings have also been added around the entrance now too, plus just around the entire course as well, just reinforcing the Mario Kart World theming here. This is a location set within a world. It all just connects, and I love this. I'm not too sure if this is out of bounds for the race or not. It might also just be for free roam, but there also appears to be grind rails that let you go over the wall on the very right hand side. Imagine getting to see the very top of this place. That'd be pretty cool. This entire version of the track just leans heavily into Saras Land aesthetic. There's now a towering palace with daisies flowers just dominating the center of the bazaar, really just signaling that connection clearly. Details like Gao statues and Tokodoko tapestry patterns all over the course are also there for those who pay attention. There's even now gameplay footage of actually seeing someone go through this castle, and it might actually be a battle course potentially. We don't know yet, but it's just epic to actually go through here and explore it. Also, when you now cross the bridge into the bazaar itself, you actually get to pass through some ornate golden doors, just really adding to this royalty vibe it's got going on. Once inside the bazaar now, it feels so much more alive than ever. Though the track's layout does remain very familiar, everything here is just refreshed. The fences on the left hand side, for example, are now kind of like this rich green color, and there's just a bunch of pillars around that are just decorated in flames and flowers. The most exciting part is though, without a doubt, there are now new grind rails everywhere, just turning this part of the course into a multi-layered playground. There's also now grass just lining the track too, which again adds so much more color and it looks really good. And of course, for example, if you look at the right hand side here, this just opens up a shortcut opportunity to just cut through it with a mushroom. And also, I can't forget this part, there is now a crowd that just surrounds the entire track now too, just completely boosting the atmosphere. At the very first turn now, there are now golden arrow signs with some just flowers around it that just start to guide your way. And the surrounding walls on the right hand side as well are just now painted in kind of like a rich salmon color, just decorated with things like hanging lanterns and just blooming flowers. The marketplace stalls have now been vastly upgraded too. They're all covered in like flower petals and just patterned mats. Shy Guys are also now finally manning the booths, and they're not just selling fruit this time too. Some seem to be offering some sort of plates and maybe food, and just a few other things too. The previously quiet bunker on the right hand side now unfortunately no longer holds a crowd or is creepy, it just now features a simple door. This is probably because the area is now going to be drivable on that wall, just thanks to the wall riding section ability, and of course all the grind rails that are on top of the course now too, and the stalls. There are also now a few jars and crates scattered around here too, just to act as obstacles. It's just a joy to see the stores now actually fully animated, and the ability to choose between riding up the rails, staying on the ground level, go to the right hand side and take that path, and then go on the top now. It just adds so much more depth. Multiple layers is such a good thing for Mario Kart. There's of course a lot more palm trees, flames, glowing lanterns, flowers, more stalls, and of course getting to see Daisy's palace in the background pretty much everywhere. That really contributes to this track just feeling so much more alive. As you reach the next turn, the options are once again expanded. You can drive under an overhead path, take an upper path on the right hand side, or even grind along the rails to the left hand side beneath Daisy's palace, which is essentially just a new alternate route. The grind rails also continue throughout the upper levels, and even offering coins and some added verticality. Before the next right hand turn, a right hand ramp also offers a well placed item box for those choosing the high road. Taking the U-turn to the left now also even reveals more detail. The lower section has grassy patches and now includes a staircase leading up to the grinding route if you did miss it earlier. There's also a new fountain that sits proudly in the middle of this section, just giving it the feel of a beautiful modern desert bazaar. The snakes from the original are still present here in the jars, but the crowd on the right hand side is gone, just making space for the new route on the top. On the left hand side, what was once blocked off is now fully drivable as well. And there's just so many beautiful draped carpets that decorate the area. And again, there's a whole lot more grind rails to use. Around the next bend, there appears to be another path opening up on the left hand side, and it's tucked inside a bunker. This seems to be a shortcut that goes underneath, and it's actually pretty dimly lit, and then you just go out of it with a boost ramp. The elevator paths here are still present, just really reinforcing this multi-tiered nature of this version. When you now approach the gliding section, you can now ascend via the familiar wooden bridge, or even grind along the new rails on either side. It even looks like there might be a hidden path underneath, but the cones kinda suggest it might be off limits. However, we'll need to wait and see how this plays out. On the upper wooden route, there's a new very rideable world that's been added on the right hand side, and the left path includes another grind rail that leads to an earlier glide ramp with coins. The standard ramp of course is still there, though the castle towers before it have now been replaced for a much cleaner look. When gliding above the track now, the surrounding environment now fully embraces the desert aesthetic. You can see the bazaar's building just sprawling out into the dunes, with even Daisy-themed towers and just flags waving real proudly. Her flower emblem even appears as a glowing decal on the floor, just surrounded by lanterns and flames. Even the flying Shy Guys are on carpets here and are dressed up, really just matching the occasion. Upon landing now, you're actually greeted by more crowd-filled scenery, elephants, floral designs, camels, etc. And it seems to be in a much more lived-in neighborhood area, just filled with homey desert buildings rather than just blank walls like the original. The oversized desert jars on the right hand side from the final turn also have now been really downsized, and you can of course just cut through here with a mushroom like old times. From that point, it's just a nice straight away back to the start, and you get to do it all again. I also love this clip I saw online, just seeing this track transition from day to night, and it happened mid-race as well. You also get to see some smoke in the background here too in this clip. I love small little details like this. It feels like it's gonna be an absolute blast. All in all, while the layout pretty much remains mostly unchanged, which I'm super happy about, the track looks better than ever. It just shows how much real care has gone into this. This is Shy Guy Bazaar on a completely different level, and I mean that literally. That has been all the changes that I was able to spot in Shy Guy Bazaar. Let me know what you think of this track down in the comment section below, and of course if I did miss any other changes. Any other change that I did miss will be in the pinned comment itself, and I'll continue to update this as time goes on. A massive shout out also goes to everyone in the Swift Cafe Discord just for helping point out a lot of these smaller details. It's very appreciated. If you did enjoy this video, it would be super appreciated if you could leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, as it really helps out the channel a lot. And let me know what track you want to see next as well, and what guests you also want to see too. A massive shout out also goes to Toontress as well for providing me with a lot of this gameplay footage. You're an absolute legend. But until next time, make sure to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!